At the same time that an expert expressed concerns about the possibility of the SEC labeling Bitcoin as a security, Deton reacted. Attorney Deton reaffirmed that he would not rule out the possibility of the Securities and Exchange Commission attempting to classify Bitcoin, which leads the cryptocurrency industry by market cap, as a security. John Deton, a prominent crypto lawyer, has responded to worries that the United States Securities and Exchange Commission would consider Bitcoin to be a security. SEC requests that BlackRock include security language in their SOAN filing. To refresh your memory, BlackRock recently submitted an amended SOAN statement to the Securities and Exchange Commission. In this filing, the asset management included new language regarding anti-money laundering compliance and the measures that would be required to monitor unexpected price movements. The Securities and Exchange Commission wants the security language to be included in the BlackRock SOAN filing for its proposed spot Bitcoin exchange traded fund, according to market observer and pro-Bitcoin attorney Joe Carlosar, who disclosed this information in response. The tweet was accompanied by a document that Carlosar uploaded, which highlighted worries regarding the possibility that the SEC could adopt the stance that Bitcoin is a possible security. According to a passage taken from the paper, any enforcement action by the SEC or a state securities regulator asserting that Bitcoin is a security or a court decision to that effect would be expected to have an immediate material adverse impact on the trading value of Bitcoin as well as the shares. Would be expected to have an immediate and significant negative impact on the value of Bitcoin. Deton gives his response. In his response to the comment, Attorney Deton recounted how he had previously stated that every coin is in danger. He did so in light of the fact that the SEC was employing terminology that was both risky and grossly overbroad when discussing XRP and other tokens. According to Deton, a lot of people downplayed his worries about the Securities and Exchange Commission's assertion that Bitcoin constituted a security. Furthermore, he noted that although while senior officials of the Securities and Exchange Commission, including Chairman Gary Gensler, had stated that Bitcoin was not a security, the commission's attorneys in the Ripple case continue to assert that the agency had not yet taken an official stance on Bitcoin and Ethereum. The fact that Gensler has stated on multiple occasions that Bitcoin is the sole cryptocurrency asset that he regards to be outside of the SEC's regulatory scope is something that should be mentioned. A similar declaration was made by Bill Heinemann, a former director of the Securities and Exchange Commission, that Bitcoin and Ethereum are not securities. In addition to this, Attorney Deton claimed that he is a victim of confirmation bias and that he has continued to believe that there is no position too absurd that the SEC won't take. A year ago, Attorney Deton issued a warning to supporters of Bitcoin, including Michael Saylor, that the Securities and Exchange Commission would turn against Bitcoin and classify the currency as a security after Saylor requested that the Securities and Exchange Commission shut down Ethereum and Ripple for committing securities fraud. He made the comment. In response, Deton issued a warning that the supporters of Bitcoin are providing to the Securities and Exchange Commission could someday backfire, as the regulator might perform a U-turn and identify the cryptocurrency that is the largest in the world as a security. Another interesting development is that the most high-value XRP remittances have a period that is revealed by the XRPL data. According to the statistics provided by XRPL, the number of remittances based on XRP that are of high value remains constant during the weekdays, whereas transfers of low value are more likely to take place on weekends. Recently, a developer working on the XRP Ledger ecosystem brought to light an odd tendency that has been occurring in the XRP remittance environment. In a tweet, the developer of the XRPL brought attention to the fact that the frequency of remittances based on XRP remains rather steady over weekdays and holidays. On the other hand, when the transaction values are taken into consideration, a noteworthy pattern becomes apparent. It was brought to his attention that the majority of high-value XRP remittances are concentrated on weekdays. A graphic that was obtained from the well-known XRP blockchain Explorer XRP scan was provided by the developer as an illustration of these findings during the presentation. XRP Scan has recently added charts that illustrate the day-to-day payment data of XRP-based transactions to its existing XRP tracking metrics. This disclosure is particularly noteworthy because it occurs at the same time they have been added. The trend of XRP remittance services, according to the statistics provided by XRP Scan, the number of XRP-based payments, has remained over 200,000 from Monday to Friday during the course of the past 30 days, during which time it reached a peak of 281,800. On the other hand, the numbers drop to approximately 190,000 on weekends, notably on Saturdays. On Saturday, November 11, for instance, the number of XRP payments reached a record low of 157,092 for the first time. In addition, the number of XRP payments that have been made from one account to another reached a record high of 334,150 on Monday, October 23, which was the highest figure in the past 3 months. It is interesting to note that the number of XR payments fluctuated between 307,000 and 160,000 a few weeks prior to this high in terms of the amount of XRP that was sent. The data from XRP scans suggested that the remittance value for weekends was consistently low. Over the course of the 25th and 26th of November, for example, the amount of XRP payments remained between 274 million and 540 million respectively. Over the course of other visible time periods, such as the most recent 3 and 6 months, a trend that was very similar was seen. In particular, the low points that are displayed in the chart that is located above are all representations of XRP remittances that took place on weekends. While the Ripple case is still in the process of moving forward through the damages phase and the possibility of appeals, other SEC litigations have directly presented problems that are either identical to or very similar to those that Judge Torres has finally resolved. In the case known as SX versus Coinbase, the Securities and Exchange Commission asserted that the defendants were responsible for facilitating the selling of cryptocurrency assets through an unregistered exchange. Coinbase filed a motion for judgment on the pleadings, arguing that secondary sales on their exchange do not confer any rights against the sellers, which is a necessary feature of an investment contract accordingly. And the SEC overstepped its regulatory power, citing the statement made by SEC Chair Gary Gensler that only Congress could confer authority to regulate crypto exchanges. Similarly, in the cases of CC versus Binance and C versus Payward, the Securities and Exchange Commission asserted that the defendants operated as an unregistered exchange for cryptocurrency assets. In spite of the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission asserts that certain digital tokens are securities in each and every action, the cases are now being heard by various judges in different courts, which leaves the door open for the potential of alternative outcomes. Uniswap Labs is a decentralized financial system that permits the sale or offer of virtual tokens through its smart contracts. Notably, the judge who is presiding over the Coinbase litigation recently dismissed a class action complaint that was filed against Uniswap Lab. A member of the defendants in the Uniswap action is represented by the firm that the authors work for. It remains to be seen whether this similar approach has any influence on the way the court feels about the concerns that are at play in Coinbase. Allegations that secondary sales of digital assets represent unregistered securities transactions have been made in a multiplicity of additional digital asset litigations which have been brought by the Securities and Exchange Commission or private litigants. There is a possibility that the outcome of such actions will be determined by whether or not the decision that Judge Torres made on programmatic sales is upheld on appeal. That's all for now.